So when somebody joins our business, we encourage them to never run out of people to talk to. Coming from that position of abundance is far better than coming from a position where you've got a very limited list of people and you can see the end of it fast approaching. So let me explain how we help our new guys to never run out of people to talk to. And it does require some effort on their part, of course. And that's the bit I can't do. I can guide people, but I can't do the work for them necessarily. So how do you never run out of people to talk to? Well, there's a very good starting point that we all come from. So most of us have got a friends list on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever our preferred platform is. Most of us have got a list of people that follow us, like us, friend us, whatever it might be. We've also got mobile phones. Pretty much all of us have got a mobile phone with a contacts list well in excess of 100 contacts in there. Mine's well in excess of 500. So we're coming from that position to begin with. So how do we use that position to never run out of people to talk to? Well, that's the key to it, isn't it? So is what we're not going to do is we're not going to spam them all. So there's probably a way on my mobile phone where I can send the same text message to everyone in my contacts, but I wouldn't want to do that, would I? That would be one hit and a couple of responses and then that's it. That list is now dead to me. So we don't want to do that. And you could do a similar thing on Facebook, couldn't you? I'm sure. So is what we need to do is we need to cultivate the list. We need to work with that list or these multiple lists as most of us have. And to never run out of people to talk to, we need to start conversations. And it's as simple as that. Making friends for the sake of making friends is a great way to approach anything in life, whatever your business is that you're in. So first of all, let's imagine an old school friend on Facebook. Not spoken to them for a year, 2, maybe 3 or 4, possibly even longer. I'm almost 50. So simply a message, a personal message would be a great way on Facebook to just touch base. Hi, how you doing? It's been a long time. Or maybe you've seen one of their recent posts, their kids are growing up and, share a story, it's a bit of back and forth. And that will start a conversation, mostly, but not always. Some people aren't as active on these platforms as we might well be. So just by starting that conversation, we can then ask a question somewhere down the line, definitely not in the first couple of messages, of just ask a question. So my business, I help people to reduce household bills and earn with us by doing the same. So one of those two things that either maybe they might have a friend that might want to earn some money or some friends that might want to reduce their bills. So I can just simply ask a question, say, hey, if it's not come up already in conversation, look, this is what I do. I wouldn't mind betting it could benefit a couple of people that you know. What do you think? A question like that would generate a response, of course. There's probably, that's just off the top of my head, probably has some easy ways of wording it a little bit better. But just by having that conversation already started, where you're talking about, the past, the present, the future, with people that you've maybe not touched base with for a while, that will allow you to then just ask a question. But better still, they might ask you a question. So what can I say there? So how can I make someone ask me a question? So I want people to ask what I'm doing, basically, don't I? So the easiest way to get someone to ask me what I'm doing is for me to ask them what they're doing. What do they do for a job? Do they only have one job? Do they have multiple incomes in their family? Questions like that. I'm just curious, is a great way to start a short statement maybe. So by asking them what they're up to, they're almost certainly going to ask me what I'm up to, and this works really well in real life too. If I'm meeting a stranger and it's not obvious what their job is, obviously if they're in a police uniform, it's pretty obvious. But if they're in a police uniform, I could always ask them, is this, do you love your job? Are you married to your job, or do you see yourself doing something else in the future? I could ask that, couldn't I? But yes, it's genuinely in real life as well as on in Instagram or Facebook Messenger. You can say to someone, what are you up to, and ask a couple of questions around that, and they will almost always ask you what you're up to, and you can say, well, actually, I help people to reduce household bills. Sounds a bit boring, but it works out quite well for a lot of people. I bet you know a couple of people that could maybe take a quick look. Or words to that effect, or if it's all about earning extra money, you could again come back with a question around that. And Not direct, not I bet you could do with earning some extra money, because people don't tend to like that so much, do they? But I bet a couple of people who could do with taking a quick look is an easy way of saying that, isn't it? And not everyone is going to come back with a couple of people, but some people will. And then you've just expanded your list. When you're out and about in real life, you can easily ask people, I help people to save money, I help people to make money, which one would benefit you? Or somebody that you know. And again, just deflecting that off, not specifically on them. If you're talking to someone and it's obvious what job they do, so maybe they're serving in a petrol station, how about asking them or saying to them, yeah, this is brilliant, this must be brilliant working in here, air conditioned in the summer, nice and warm in the winter. And they will then proceed to tell you all the things that they dislike about their job. And again, you've now got someone else to put on your list. Now's not the time. You're working, I'm on the way somewhere. Give us your mobile. I've got something that might benefit you. Again, you've expanded your list, haven't you? So if you work on expanding your list by starting conversations, by asking questions, getting people to ask you the right questions that you want them to ask you, you are genuinely never going to run out of people to talk to. But it's going to require a bit of effort. And if you're not prepared to make that effort, then obviously, you're going to come to the end of your list and you're going to say, well, that's that then. I've earned this much money. That's that done. So hope that's helped. Let us know in the comments. What do you do to never run out of people to talk to? I bet you've got some better ideas than I have.